The XP inning programs are going to be so much shorter this year compared to XP programs from the last couple of years. So being able to grind XP quickly will be necessary if you guys want to get through the program and pick up these nice 88 overall boss players, and maybe even get to the end of the XP path with the unlimited bonus rewards. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be posting Diamond Dynasty videos most days, so be on the lookout for all of those. And first off, if you guys have not completed the starter program, there's 20,000 XP in here, and it takes 40 minutes, maybe even less, to complete this. So definitely be sure to complete this early on. And do not forget about the Cornerstone evolution programs, because these have some super easy XP, 10,000 XP in each of these, just to do a few moments and a few missions, all of which are really, really easy. So definitely be sure to pay attention to these and do not forget about them. But the themed programs in MLB 25 are loaded with XP, and the first thing I recommend you do are the moments for any themed programs, just because you want to start unlocking these players within the program, and this applies really to any future themed programs too, because it does seem like there's always going to be a lot of XP in all of these programs that come out, and by doing these moments, you obviously will be unlocking some of the XP within these programs, but you're setting yourself up for the next step that I want to go over. So what you want to do is stack your lineup with these players that you unlock from the program's reward paths, and you can begin to work on these missions. As you can see, I have a lot of these pipeline players in my lineup, and I put them at the top of my lineup so they're getting the most amount of at-bats, and so I can try to fly through those missions. If you need more players to fill out the rest of your lineup, though, or pitching staff, I would put in some of the Cornerstone evolution cards to work on those missions, or you can add in players from any of the team affinity programs to work on those missions, that you're working on, just because, there's XP in those team affinity programs too. More on that in a little bit. So then basically what I would do is take this lineup that you built with players from any of these theme programs or other programs, and I think the best offline grind in Diamond Dynasty for XP is in Conquest. Now, I know it takes a little bit of time to sim these maps, but in every single Conquest map, there will be goals that have some XP. For example, on the Shamrock map right here, all you have to do is basically play a few games, and you get 5,000 XP. So super easy, right? This is going to take less than an hour probably, and you're going to get that plus the gameplay XP. And then on these US Conquest maps, you're going to have the 5,000 XP goals on here as well for completing them on all three. I would imagine future Conquest maps also have these XP goals in them too, but basically you'll be getting XP from all of these Conquest games, you'll be earning XP from the Conquest goals, and then over time you'll also be earning XP from knocking out all of these different program missions. And also make sure you are continuing to update your lineup and your pitching staff as you begin to complete these missions in the themed programs, because you can move on and just insert other players into your lineups that you need to complete other missions for and start knocking those out too. And I say Conquest is the best offline XP grind because it appears SDS won't allow us anymore to mission grind using tiny custom stadiums in mini seasons or play versus CPU. They also changed the elevation effects in high elevation stadiums like we've seen in some custom stadiums and minor league stadiums, and this change makes it just more difficult for us to be hitting home runs in these high elevation stadiums. Whether you like playing online games in Diamond Dynasty or not, there is a ton of XP in the multiplayer program, and even if you aren't a fan of online games, I would still come into the multiplayer program. At the very least, you can knock out these start here missions. Literally all you need to do is tally a hit in all three of the online modes, but really you only have to do it for two of them if you want, because up to 2 points is the 10,000 XP token right there. So super easy 10,000 XP. But there's literally 250,000 XP in this entire multiplayer program. Plus whatever gameplay XP you get, right? So there's a ton in here. I would definitely suggest getting through at least part of it and picking up a good chunk of XP. Whatever online mode you decide to play, I would be grinding these same program missions we went over earlier though, and especially if you don't care about winning or losing and just want all of the mission progress, just go ahead and grind these missions and be gaining good progress in those, plus continuing to stack some of this XP from the multiplayer program as well. In each of the My Journey Team Affinity reward paths, there's 4,500 XP at 30,000 Team Affinity points, so I would do the moment for each of these rewards paths, and just to get up to 5k team affinity points. And then while you're grinding the conquest maps like we talked about earlier, you can also be using those players from the team affinity paths. But then you can also, if you have more room for other players, you can put in other players to work on some of these other team affinity missions in the programs too. You can start to work your way towards the 4,500 XP in all of these team affinity programs. So at least early on in MLB 25, focusing on these theme programs and grinding conquest maps does seem like a really good strategy for gaining a lot of XP in a pretty quick way. And I would not forget about the cornerstone evolution programs, because those have some really easy XP, and then working through at least part of the multiplayer program is smart as well with how much XP is in there. And if things change over time though, with XP, I can put out an updated video with what's best to grind for quick XP. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. See you in the next one.